Hi, Collective. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. My name is Leigh, and today we are going to do a reading. We just gonna let Spirit talk about whatever Spirit wants to talk about. Okay? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there is a link in the description box below. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let me see. I'm just trying to think. Okay. Hold on one second. Falling on the floor. All right. Okay, here we go. Overall energy is the golden mirror. So it's saying narcissist love bombing, one-sided, self-absorbed. So this is Spirit, talking about, this has been your past, right? It's the golden mirror. It's where, you do everything and the other person doesn't do anything, right? You give and give and give, and the other person decides what they want to give, if they want to give anything at all. Okay. This is just about you being attracted to people who are emotionally unavailable, people who basically just, love bomb. They do enough just to get you attracted or to pull you in. And once they pull you in and they know that you got feelings for them, they pull back and then you start to give everything and they don't do anything. Okay. Underneath this, we have coffee cup. Okay. So it's talking about meeting and talking, savoring the moment, feeling elevated, building a friendship. So what Spirit is basically telling you here is that this is what you've gone from the golden mirror, and now it's the coffee cup, right? So you're stepping into a new phase where you've got somebody who is sincerely and genuinely interested in you. This is someone who wants to build a relationship with you. They want to raise you up. They want to do whatever they can to make your life better. They want to be not a burden in your life, but someone who adds to it in a positive way. Okay. Then we've got poker face showing up here. It says taking a chance, risks and options, not showing your hand, gambling. So this is about, your person at this time is not showing their hand. They're not letting you know what is going on yet because the time is not right. Like I said, if you and this person were to come together and the time wasn't right, things would not work out. They will blow up in your face. That's why you have several of you that have had missed opportunities with your person, because I feel like maybe the time wasn't right for the two of you to come together. Because if it was, based on what Spirit is saying, the two of you would be moving on together and doing what you need to work it out. Okay. And then with the gambling card, I feel like this is just Spirit saying when the time is right, you're gonna take the leap with the full card, because that's what they're showing me in their head, in my head. And I feel like this person is gonna come towards you. They want to come towards you. It's not a thing of they're not wanting to come towards you, or they're so what is it, so entrenched in their life that they don't think about you or don't want to be with you. It's not that. Because see, I know a lot of you may feel like that because that was what you used to be subjected to, right? But Spirit is now telling you that that's not what this is, that it's just this person knows. Because you got to realize you're dealing with a boss, you're dealing with somebody who, for a lot of you have come from nothing. Okay. So this is someone who's had to build their life up to where it is. That's not going to apply to all of your people, but to a lot of them, that's what's happened. And so because of that, this person knows that a lot of things have to do with timing, right? So if the time is not right, if it feels off, if their gut is telling them this or whatever, this is someone who is intuitive like you. So they listen to their intuition, right? And if they're not getting a good feeling from that intuition, this person's not going to move. They're not going to take a chance. They're very calculated with their risks. This person wants to take a risk and they want to come towards you, and they're very calculated, but they're very calculated about it, meaning they're not going to do it before it's time, because I feel like this person has already seen the outcomes from trying to jump the gun, not doing it when it's exactly right. Okay. All right. Then we've got the seduction card here showing up here. So this is talking about, you know what I hear? Oh my God. Okay. This is the over 18 read, because I hear Lil Wayne in my head, lollipop, when I see this card. That's what they're playing in my head. Okay. So it says seduction. It's talking about attraction, teasing, hooking up, dating, temptation, right? So like I said, this person is tempted to want to come towards you. They find you very sexually attractive. They are very, they feel very lustful towards you, even though but the primary feeling is love. Okay. But this person, has to hold themselves back. They don't want to think of you, just as a sexual object, because there are a lot of feelings behind, their motives and wanting to be with you. Okay. This card could also be talking about some past people or some new people that are coming in that are going to try to be a temptation. So it's like when you and this person come together, sometimes for some of you, even before you and this person come together, you are going to have people coming in your face. Okay. you know, for these reasons only, okay? For seduction, wanting to seduce you, finding you attractive, because you're on a glow up, right? So when you're on a glow up collective, it's a thing where you're gonna start to look appeasing, to other people. And some of those people are not gonna have good intentions or not have, let me say this, because I feel like it's neither here nor there. They're not gonna have the same type of intentions that you have. That's what I feel like Spirit is saying, okay? You're going to have people that come into your life that wear masks. They're not going to be honest about who they truly are or truly what it is that they want. That's why it's up to you to listen to your intuition, to know when the time is right, to know if this person is right. Because like I said, when you meet your person and this person comes in, you're going to know it's them. You're going to know it's them. You may question yourself a little bit. Let me say that. You may do that a little bit. And it is because you've been through so much of this shit that you started to doubt yourself. You started to, like I tell y'all, I tell you all the time, your picker is fucked up. So it's a situation where at times you may be like, okay, can I trust this feeling? Can I trust my intuition? Because, things happen. This is life. Sometimes you feel like it should have went, you should have zigged when you zagged. That's just the way life is. And I feel like what Spirit is trying to get you to understand is that you can trust your intuition. You can trust your spiritual team. Just everything has to align the right way. Okay. So we're going to start by clarifying the golden mirror. Yeah, see? Okay, so this is the fallout from you being in these relationships with these people who mistreated you. You sit in a lot of negativity, okay? And this is something that needs to stop, okay? It is hindering you from bringing in the things you want in a timely manner, okay? I'm not saying it's going to completely stop it, but it's like, oh, how can I explain it? It's like you trying to go downhill. You're driving downhill in a car, and you trying to, you putting your foot completely on the gas, but you still got the parking brake up. That's what negativity does to your manifestations and to things showing up in your life. Because I feel like they still will show up in your life, but delayed is what I hear. There will be a delay because of your negative thinking. And I'm not saying don't have your thoughts. I'm not saying don't allow yourself to feel what you feel. But what Spirit is trying to tell you is that once you feel it, go back to the positive thing, because this is about you retraining your mind, because these people trained you to think like this, to believe like this, so that they can manipulate you. So now that you're out of that, you pulled yourself out of that, you realize that's not your shit, that's not your seeds, it's not how you roll. You have to form a different identity, okay? Because I feel like in the beginning, all of you had a different identity. You weren't showing up in this negativity, but it's after all the things you've experienced and being beat down all the time by these fucking narcissistic people or people with narcissistic tendencies, that this is why you're showing up in the negativity, and Spirit is telling you that's something that has to be rooted out. Okay. All right. Let me get another card. Okay. So we got low self-esteem showing up here. Okay. This could be talking about, the old people that you were with. This could be Spirit just telling you why these people were coming out in this energy. Is because they have low self-esteem, even though they try to peacock, right? And pull out what do they call it? The plumage or whatever, the full plumage. And they try to act like on the outside. This may be somebody who dresses really well. They may be very attractive. Their initial personality may be very attractive. They may be very charismatic. This is just somebody with whom they worry, they may go to the gym, they may be cut up, male or female. This is someone who focuses on the outside and they don't work on the inside. And on the inside, they may be a 10 out of a scale on a scale of 1 to 10 on the outside, but on the inside they are fucking -0. Okay. Or hell, there is no -0, but I don't know, a -10 on the inside. Okay. So this is what Spirit is trying to get you to understand. You've been beat down over years and years and years, a lot of you, due to people who had self-esteem issues and they projected those issues onto you. Okay? All right. This could also be for your new person. This could be something they are working on, because it could be that, they went through the same thing that you did. We know that they did, and that it took a toll on their self-esteem, and they have to take the time to bring themselves back up. Because you don't want nobody, no new person, collective, coming into coming into your life like this. Because if they come in like this, all this shit right here has a potential to show up, and that's not what you want. Okay, that's what I said. This is what Spirit is trying to get you to understand. This is not about just you being in a relationship and being loved. It's about you learning how to love yourself and realizing that certain things that have gone on in your life should have never been going on. They need to be put to bed and put down and stopped. And you need to realize that you have to start to choose yourself first. That's what Spirit is talking about. Okay. All right. So the first card that fell here, it says camera. So it says reminiscing, making memories, learning from the past, perception. Okay. So you know how they say, hindsight is 2020. Okay. I feel like a lot of you are going back and looking back at your past, and you may be kicking yourself, calling yourself all kinds of names, because, and being down on yourself because of the things that you've experienced and the people that you allowed into your life. But at the end of the day, you got to think about it like this, collective. We all want to be loved. And sometimes in the process of us trying to get our needs met, we end up making mistakes, or let me not even say mistakes. Let me say learning experiences. We end up having learning experiences we didn't think we would have. Okay. So you got to start to look at it positively, right? Like, when you get in a car and you're driving and you take the wrong exit and you get off, right? And you get lost. Instead of being mad or angry that you got lost, you need to start to tell yourself, well, if I didn't get off at this exit and come this way, look at what I would have missed. Look at all the views or whatever it is that you're seeing. I would have missed it. So it's the same thing with this. You have to start to look at it positively and stop beating yourself up and just say, if I hadn't gone through this, I wouldn't have been able to learn the lesson that I needed to learn. Okay. Let me give you an example. I had somebody recently that from the past that has tried, has been trying. Remember, I tell y'all all the time, you won't have people from your past trying to come back into your life because they realized what they lost when things ended between the two of you. Sometimes people got to go out there and live their life and realize, oh shit, I made a mistake, so on and so forth, right? So I had somebody recently trying to, insert themselves back into my life, right? No apology, no nothing. They just show back up and they're trying to act like nothing happened. Like, we just talked to each other yesterday when it's been years since I talked to this person, right? So I'm saying all of this to say, when this person came back up, it was a good thing. I couldn't look at it negatively, because I have to look at the lesson that I'm being taught, that I'm needing to learn here. So it caused me to go back through what happened in the past, what led to the demise of the relationship, and what happened. And it was a really good thing. I got a lot of closure. I went over the thing and talked about it, and thought about it in order to extract whatever lessons needed to come out of that. And so, I had a good cry about it, because the person, used to be somebody that was very dear to me. And, I always loved the person, but, that's it. It's not going to go any further than that. So I'm saying all of this to say, even when you have people from your past coming back into your life, there's always lessons that need to be learned. Because through this example that I gave you, I was able to extract some lessons from me that I can have when I go into my next relationship or my next friendship or my next, whatever type of relationships are coming towards me. Because remember, I tell you, we're not just talking about love, a romantic relationship. We're talking about family relationships, chosen family. We're also talking about potential friendships because you got a lot of different soul tribe members coming into your life. But as I told you, you also have to, you can't keep the old and the new. You have to let go of the old if you're wanting the new to come in. Okay? Okay. Excuse me. All right. So let's clarify this camera card. Excuse me. Okay, so coming out on your side, collective, we have toxic addiction. So it says substances or behaviors used to numb one's feelings, such as drugs, sex, thoughts, alcohol. So whatever this toxic addiction is, we talk about this all the time. You know what it is. Spirit is telling you, you may need to look back and figure out why it started. Because sometimes if you go back to the genesis, the beginning, you'll figure out what it is you're trying to, because a lot of times when people have addictions, they're trying to numb some type of pain. And a lot of times if you heal that pain, that will go a long way to helping you move through this addiction or getting it to a place where you can, you can deal with it better and you can function better as a human being. Okay. When it comes to your person, we have the family card showing up here. This person that's coming into your life, family is very important to them. Okay, so they're very close with their family. This could also talk about them wanting to have a family with you, because when we read all the time, this comes up, right? Okay. Okay, next card we're going to look at, it says not enough. It says lacking confidence, self-sabotage, ego and fear, frustration. This is the reason for a lot of you that these people that are being represented by the golden mirror, this is why these people were allowed to come into your life. It is because on some level you felt that you were not enough. And I feel like it wasn't something that you consciously tell yourself, oh, well, I feel like, I don't deserve this or I don't deserve that. I don't feel like that's what it was. I feel like it's just experiences, things that you've had. Your subconscious mind has drawn certain conclusions about things. And for some of you, the conclusion was that you weren't enough. So this is something that needs to be worked on, that really doesn't have anything to do with the people that you're in relationships with. Because if you're showing up like this, these type of people are attracted to this shit because they're able to, manipulate you and, sway you the way that they want to sway you. It makes you an easy target for these type of people. And this is what they look for, is this. Okay. But when you show up as somebody who is gonna make it difficult for somebody to control you or manipulate you, that's when they're like, okay, I got to leave this alone because I don't want to fuck with that. Okay. All right. Let's clarify. Okay, so excuse me. For you, we have the intimacy card showing up here. Spirit is letting you know your ability to believe in yourself, okay, and love on yourself is showing you, will be a precursor to how much you can let this new person in, is what they're telling you with this not enough card. So this is something that needs to be, worked on. Break down your ego. Realize you're an amazing person. Like I said, you have to think you the greatest thing since sliced bread if you want your person to feel that way too. Whatever way you want them to feel about you, it starts with you. Because like I tell you, we all want the love on the outside, right? But in order to get that love and have it reflected back to us, we got to start to pour into ourselves. Okay. All right. Then we've got the neglect wounds card coming up here. It says struggles to let things go, low self-worth, gets angry easily, struggles to say no, repressed emotions. Okay. Your person has had their wounds as well that they have to deal with. Because like I said, and don't think they weren't in relationships that pulled all this shit out. Okay. So this person, like I told you, I feel like this person is really going to work on themselves because they know that you are what do they call it? Oh gosh, not the gauntlet, but you are like, you the Cadillac, right? You the person they always wanted to be with. You are their prize. Okay. And so this person knows this on an energetic level, okay? And they know how they feel. And like I said, I feel like you make this person feel a way that they've never felt for anybody before. Because I told you, for a lot of you, this person has stopped dating, has stopped fucking around with people like that. Even though people are constantly throwing themselves at this person, they're like, no, I need to get myself together. I need to focus on me because like I said, it was a situation of quantity over quality. They were getting all these people, but they were not quality people. And like I said, I feel like you were one of the first quality people. Excuse the noise, because there's something going on here, and it happens randomly. Okay, so you were one of the people, or the only person I feel like that's ever made this person feel like they really truly had a shot at love. Okay, we're back. So like I said, your person got themselves together with the neglect wounds card, because they know that they're stepping into something new with you and they want to be ready for it. They don't want to have anything throw a wrench in what is about to happen between you and them. Okay. All right. So the next card we have is partying. So it says time with friends, having fun, happily single, living in the moment. Okay. A lot of times this card used to come up for your exes, right? But in this reading, I feel like Spirit is talking about you. This is about you learning how to party. Okay. You could take a page out of the ex's book when it comes to this, because this person knows how to have, your old person knows how to have a good damn time. And I feel like a lot of you have forgotten how to do this. Okay. So like I said, it's talking about time with friends. You needed to spend time with your friends. Okay. Find excuses to get together with your friends. Have a good time. Just because you're single, it's not a life sentence. It's not a death sentence. It doesn't mean that you're going to be that way forever, or that it means something is wrong with you, or some type of stigma, even though society tries to, especially in the United States, make single people feel like, we're less than because we're not in a relationship with anybody. Then we have, having fun. It's about you finding ways to have as much fun as you can in your life. Okay. Then we have happily single and living in the moment. So it's like if somebody gives you an invitation to go somewhere collective, go. What do you have to lose? Right. It's just about you finding out how fun and how beautiful and how amazing your life can be, whether you have somebody in your life or not. Because the same way society tries to put things on single people, I feel like a lot of us feel like that. Like, because we've allowed that shit in. And so it's like, we're like, oh, I can't go here, or I can't do this if I don't have nobody. Please. I go halfway around the world all the time by myself. And people ask me, I get people ask me all the time, how do you do that? And I'm like, because if I wait on somebody to show up, I'll never go anywhere. I'll just sit and not go anywhere and not do anything. And like I said, you'd be surprised the amount of people you meet when you go off on your own, because you're out on your own. And if you're a person that can be open like me, I always tell y'all I'm half and half. Half of me is likes to be introverted, and another half of me is extroverted. So because my dad is very extroverted, my mother is the introvert, right? So when it comes to me, I have my moments where I'm introverted and I don't want to do anything and I don't want to go anywhere, but that's why I love to travel, because it forces me to be extroverted. I mean, I can still stay, in a room or stay in a hotel or whatever if I don't want to come out and be out around people. But when I do go out and they're all there, that's just it just is normal for me to start talking and stuff like that. Cause like for instance, I was on the train actually yesterday, and I'm sitting on the train, and all of a sudden I hear these Americans come on the train. I hear them start talking, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I leaned over in the chair and I was like, I hear the English. I said, where y'all from or whatever. And we get into a conversation. and it was like a group of guys, and they were traveling around together, see, enjoying their lives. They're all single. They're enjoying their lives. They were from Atlanta, and one of them has a family, where we are. And so they were coming to visit their family, and go around and look at different things, but they were doing it as a group, and they had been here for like 3 weeks. And I'm like, I think that's amazing. And when I see women get together and they have a girls trip, and they go out, together as a group, and have this good time, and just live their best life, whether they're single or not. You need that time to yourself. You need that time with your friends. You need that time to understand, collective, that your life shouldn't be positioned around another person. You should be the center, the nucleus of your world, and everybody else is like, it's like you're the sundae, right? Well, let's talk about a banana sundae. You're the or banana split, not banana sundae, a banana split. You are the ice cream. You are the chocolate sauce. You are all the things that make up the sundae. You're the bananas. You're all these things, and the people in your life are the whipped cream. They're the cherry on top, all of these things. So it's like your life needs to be made up purposefully of you, and then all the other stuff comes in to embellish it. But at the end of the day, whether that stuff is there or not, you're still supposed to be happy. That's what Spirit is trying to get you to understand. Okay. So with this partying card, it's about you living in the moment. Cause I keep telling you, life is going on now. It ain't going on in the future. It ain't going on when your person gets here. It's going on now. And Spirit is looking, they're watching you to see if you're getting this message. If you're taking, you picking up what they putting down. And if you realize, hey, I got to go out there and live my damn life. It's all these things I've always wanted to do. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Like I told you, time keep passing. You can't turn around and get it back. It's not that type of life. So you have to, like I tell y'all, make your list of the things that you want to do, the things that light you up, the things that you've always wanted to do. And even if you have to go out there and go do them by yourself, go do it. Go do it, because you'll have a memory forever. And at the end of the day, when you get, old, when you on your deathbed, that's all you're going to have at the end of the day anyway, is your memories. And hopefully they're going to be beautiful ones. Okay. All right. Let's clarify. Okay, see, a lot of you are isolating yourselves just because you're single. Life does not stop. Let me say it again. Just because you're single, collective, life does not stop. You need to go out and live your life, okay? Because too much of anything is no good, okay? Too much isolation is no good. Too much partying is no good. You got to find that happy medium, okay? All right. So when it comes to your person, we got the chaos card here. So your person may be going through a lot of things. They may have a lot of shit going on in their life. Let me see something. Get another card and see what Spirit wants to tell me. We got the ghosting card showing up. It's saying out of sight, out of mind, unable to express feelings in a healthy manner, blocking phone numbers and or social media. This could have to do with, who, and I'm not even going to say who it is. Okay. Let's just leave it and move on. So your person has a lot of things going on. And I feel like they're trying to tie up loose ends and take care of whatever they got to take care of. Take out the trash, take out the garbage, if you want to say, and in order to get themselves together. Okay. All right. Let me see if I use another deck. I want to clarify that card and see what else comes up. Okay. The chaos spirit. Okay. Yeah. This person. Okay. They may be going through a tough time right now, but they're looking forward to better days. I hear there's a song by a singer called Joe, and it's called Better Days, and that's the song I hear in my head. So, it says sunflower, bright future, happy days. This person knows that happy days are coming. And like I said, they're using this as inspiration for them to get through the hard times that they're going through. Like I said, because you're both mirroring each other. But I feel like this person, the reason why I like to talk to you about your person is because I feel like they take a very positive look, or a very positive outlook on what's going on in their life. whether, you know, it could be seen as a positive, happenstance in their life or a negative one. Okay. All right. So when we come to the last card we have here, here's addiction showing up again. It says codependent, obsession and restraint, possession and control, emotional block. Okay. When you are codependent, this is something that has to be dealt with, because this is what causes you to latch on to people, to cling on to people, to, you know, smother them, do things that you shouldn't, you shouldn't do, because it's about you. When you center your life around somebody else, and you don't live in the moment and live your life as a single person, this is what happens. That's why Spirit is so adamant about y'all enjoying your life and understanding that whether this person is here or not, you can have a good life. And I feel like once you understand that, that's what's going to cause you to let go and stop hyper focusing on this person coming in when you want them to come in. Okay. Because like I said, it has to be right for both of you. It's not just about you. Even though we're talking about you and we're reading about you, it's not just about you. You got a whole other human being that's coming into this relationship with you, and they have to be right as well. And then you gotta be thinking about them too. Because if you're not thinking about them too, and what I mean by that, by their thinking about their well-being too, what you gonna do when y'all get in a relationship? This person's gonna have ups and downs just like you have ups and downs. And just like you're gonna want this person to support you when you're on the down slope, they're gonna want the same thing from you. Okay? So with this addiction card, this is about, you know, for some of you, it's not just, or not drugs, sex, thoughts, and alcohol. Excuse me. It could be codependency. It could be clinging on too tight, holding on. That's why you don't isolate yourself, because when you isolate yourself, it amplifies codependency, because you're not going out and doing things to make your life happier. It's like you're treading water, okay, out in the sea or on the beach or something like that. Not on the beach, but on, you know, in the water, okay, a sea, or I don't know, a lake or something like that. And you are basically waiting for your person to come by. And when they come by, like a life raft, you gonna cling on to them. And I keep trying to tell y'all, with this person, you can't do that, because you're going to end up, you know how they say when someone is drowning, if someone else goes out to save them, they tell you you have to be careful. The person that's trying to save the drowning person has to be careful, because if they're not careful, both people could end up drowning, even though someone is coming out there to try to save the person that is. Okay. So I feel like what Spirit is trying to tell you with this is that these things got to be cut out. This codependency, this clinging to people, the possession and control, getting jealous, all these types of things. Like I said, this person coming in will not do anything to, intentionally do anything to make you feel jealous, to potentially do anything, or, oh my God. They will not intentionally do anything to make you feel possessive, to make you feel this way. So if it's coming out, okay, or you have these issues from the past, in past relationships, because like I said, these type of people, they feed off of this type of shit. So whatever this is that you got, it's got to be dealt with. Okay, hold on. Because codependency is an addiction. It's an addiction to people, being around people and stuff like that. But like I said, if you start to spend time with your friend circle, with your family, the people that you love, that you have around you, and not center yourself on somebody being in a relationship with somebody, and it just being that person, that will help you with this. Okay. All right. Let's clarify. Hold on. Ugh, cards are flying. Let me get another one. Okay, so your person, they're looking at the synchronicities. They're receiving a lot of synchronicities from Spirit. Okay, repeating numbers, 444, 1111, 3333, all of these things. Okay, They're paying attention to the signs, okay? And they're working on their triggers with the trigger card, okay? When it comes to you, look at what's coming up. Trauma wounds, okay? This is about sexual abuse. It says any type of sexual abuse which may cause depression, anxiety, and or anger as an adult. Some of you still have a lot of work to do when it comes to your relationships. This is not going to apply to everybody, but the fact that the card is coming out is telling me that there are some people that may think or may believe that they're ready to be in a relationship. But if you still dealing with this, okay, I'm not saying that you gonna be able to rip this out of yourself and put it in a damn box and throw it in the trash. I'm not telling you this, but you got to get yourself to a certain level, excuse me, to where you're able to, you know, deal with the pain, the feelings, and the emotions because of this. So some of you may have to go to therapy. There may need to be some journaling. You may need to find a support group, something, whatever you need to do to deal with this so that it doesn't, you know, mess up your stuff, because this could exacerbate codependency too. It could be a precursor of that because you don't feel safe and you're looking for any and everything to cling to in order to feel safe. So this is, this needs to be dealt with as well. Let me get another card because I know that's not going to apply to all of you. Yeah, it's about you stepping into your divine feminine energy and knowing you are the center of your world, not anybody else. Okay, because I feel like that's what we all were doing. We were putting these crazy ass people, these one-sided relationships, and making it the center of our world. And then when those people ran away or broke our hearts or, stepped on them and did all these things, we were fucking devastated because we built on a what is it? A finite foundation, a foundation that couldn't last, because these type of people that come in, they're not there for a long time, just for a little bit, right? Okay. Let's get a message from spirit, and then we're going to get some messages from your person. See what they want to tell you. Okay. So we have plan showing up here. It says, following a long-term plan will help me achieve my life's purpose. To make the most of this moment of inspiration and angel guidance, plan your days so as to reach maximum efficiency. This is a powerful time for you, and you are capable of achieving a lot. Without a plan, you risk wasting precious time. Okay? That's why I tell y'all, plan out what you want to go do and start to put it in motion. Take baby steps. I ain't saying you got to get the credit card and go book some shit right now. I ain't saying you got to do that. But if there's somewhere you always wanted to go, be like, okay, this year I'm going to go here. It doesn't matter if I go with anybody or not. If you can't find somebody to go with you, or if the person falls at the last minute, don't stop your good time for some fucking body else. Don't do that. Okay? Maybe that's what's supposed to happen. Maybe you're supposed to go by yourself. Maybe you're going to find somebody, find yourself when you go on this trip. Maybe you're going to meet new friends. You never know what's going to happen when you go out there and you step out on faith. You take the leap of faith for yourself, not for somebody else. You never know what's going to happen. And that's what Spirit is trying to tell you. Plan out what it is you want to do and do it. Okay? All right. Now we are going to get some messages from your person. Let's see what they want to tell you. Ooh. I'm sorry. All my cards are covered up. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have ego. It says, will your ego allow space for us to have an equal partnership? That's what we was talking about that earlier, right? With the not enough, right? It's ego and fear. And so this is something that needs to be dealt with so that it doesn't show up in your connection. Then we have network. It says there is a potential for our paths to cross in the workplace or through our professional endeavors. Okay. So you and your person, you may meet through work. You may meet through work colleagues. Like I said, it could be a friend group. It could be a lot of different ways you can meet. Okay. Then we have mission. It says we share a passion for helping others. We have a mission to fulfill in this world together. Okay. So it's about you, like I said, getting yourself together so that you'll be ready for this. Because some of you are going to be on the world stage, in some shape, form, or fashion. Okay. And that's not something to be taken lightly. And you don't want to be half stepping when you do some stuff like that. Cause trust me, if you feel like you deal with scrutiny now, wait till you get, on a worldwide level and everybody's looking at you and gotta say this and gotta say that or whatever. So you gotta be ready for that. So that means you have to deal with this as much as you possibly can, because people have a way, like I said, they're mirrors. They have a way of pinpointing that one fucking thing that you can't stand or that triggers the fuck out of you. And it's being called to your attention because it needs to be healed. Okay? All right, let's get some more messages. Let me get these. Okay, so we've got, I'm showing you your wounds and things you need to work on. Okay, I feel like this is a message not just from your person, but from spirit too. They're telling you, they're showing you the things. This is what we talk about in these readings, right? It's not just about the other person and what they doing and what's going on with them. We show you their wounds too. They spirit is showing you yours so that, you can prepare. Then we've got, I feel tired of hiding my true feelings from you. So your person, like I told you, they want to be with you just as badly as you want to be with them. They just know how to, I feel like this person has cultivated patience over time. And they just know good things come to those who wait. They don't have an issue with things taking its time because they know when it's time and it's right, nothing's going to be able to stand in the way of it. Okay. Then we've got, you're so beautiful inside and out. Okay. So this person is, like I said, they're deeply, hopelessly in love with you and they can't wait to be with you. Okay. All right. Let me get one more. I'm gonna get one more and then we're gonna do, we've got I miss you. And then, see, I need some time before I can come to you. Your person is telling you, you don't want to put nobody on the hot seat. Look, they telling you, you have to be patient. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the romance fairies. We ain't did the fairies in a while. Okay. Okay. So it says self-love. Love yourself first. First and foremost. You ain't gonna be able to go in this relationship if you don't love yourself, because your self-love is what's manifesting the person. It's all the things you do to pour into yourself is what spirit is telling you. Okay. Then we have unexpected connection. It says opposites attract. So like I said, it could be on the outside. Like I told you, you're gonna look totally different. Okay. One may be light, one may be dark, two different races, two different religions, two different backgrounds. And, but it's gonna work. It's gonna fit. Cause like I said, this person is like a custom ordered person for you. That's why it's important for you to write down what it is you want. Think about things, think about how you want the relationship, to be together. But like I said, you gotta love on you first. Okay. Then we've got manifesting the one. It says very soon your true love will arrive. So get yourselves together, collective, because this person is coming. Okay. All right, collective. I hope this helped. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there is a link in the description box below. Please have a good day and a good rest of your week and a happy Valentine. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.